Job hazard analysis, or JHA, is an important component of any health and safety program. It is one of many risk assessment tools that can be used in the formal hazard assessment process to identify and control hazards. Many workers have been injured or killed because they either don't know the right steps or don't recognize the potential hazards of a job. JHAs help establish proper operating procedures and provide recommendations for preventing or eliminating hazards. A job hazard analysis should be conducted by a team familiar with the task and should include one or more workers familiar with the job, supervisors, and if applicable, any other experts or specialists. By involving a whole team, the likelihood of missing a step or hazard is decreased. Workers who do the job regularly will recognize unsafe shortcuts or ways to get around protective devices. These may need to be addressed. Creating a JHA begins by observing the job. For our example, we'll begin by observing the task of lifting and moving a heavy box. First, break the job into small steps. A step is defined as a part of the operation necessary to advance the work. It is important to not make the steps too general, which may result in hazards being missed, or too detailed, which may result in there being too many steps. A good rule of thumb is to describe the job in fewer than 10 steps. You must also keep the steps in their correct order. Steps that are out of order may miss potential hazards or even introduce hazards that don't exist. Once all of the steps have been listed, it's time to identify potential hazards for each step. Hazards are things that could lead to injury, illness, or environmental harm. There are two types of hazards. Health hazards can be physical, chemical, biological, or psychological, which may cause ill health effects to exposed workers. Safety hazards are substances, processes, actions, or conditions that may endanger the immediate safety of workers. Go through each step and identify what potential health or safety hazards exist within that step. Each step may have more than one hazard, so number each one with the step number. It is also important to assess the risk of each task and hazard. This can be done by showing the severity of the hazard and the probability of it occurring. Examples of this would be ranking each hazard on a scale of low to high or 1 to 5. Finally, for each step, make recommendations on how each hazard can be mitigated or controlled. It's best to make these recommendations right away while you're still focused on the situation in the work environment. This way, you can see how the recommendation will work or if it'll cause other problems. Start at the top of the hazard list and then work your way down. When making recommendations, you should first try to eliminate the hazard or substitute it with something less dangerous. If that's not possible, make recommendations to control the hazard. Hazard controls can include engineering controls, administrative controls, or PPE. Sometimes, all types of recommendations can be made. Explore as many alternative ways as possible. If the hazard can be controlled in several ways, each recommendation should be listed. A JHA is not only useful to communicate the hazards of a job, but also form the basis for safe work practices and safe job procedures. It also provides step-by-step training for new employees being taught how to do the job. Or, if an injury or illness occurs, a JHA can provide a starting point for any investigation and remind employees of safe operating procedures. It is important to continually monitor tasks and confirm that control methods are implemented and effective. Conduct JHAs for each new task and review them at regular intervals or when a change in the task has occurred. When done regularly, job hazard analysis will help keep your employees safe and reduce the chances of injury, illness, and environmental damage.